the Oruga Podcast.
Somehow somebody's always looking the other way. Now look at these guys. They look busy, right?
Going back is going to be framed. It's like when Mr. Krabs framed his first dollar.
His first dollar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is going to be framed and on the set of the Oruga Podcast.
Right. What happened? Dude, how about this? On our 100th episode, and we have like all the candles, and we have like, or not the candles, when we have all the cameras and all the setup.
It'll be the charity event.
Right. Well, the thing is, we'll have no. I'm gonna go to Joe Rogan's episode. It was 1666 with Duncan Trussell, and the way they start that podcast, it's all dark, and they're wearing like cult outfits, and they light a ton of candles, and then they start the podcast going, and it's so cool. And I think for the 100th episode, we could do the same thing with those candles.
Yeah, we'll finally light them. Welcome to the Op. Be sure to check out Oruga's shop. We make shirts and hoodies that are comfortable and stylish. Follow @ShopOruga and visit orugastore.com. That is ORUGA store.com. Beat produced by Saipuda. Check him out at saipudabeats.com. Hello, listeners. Welcome back to the Oruga Podcast with your host, Nolan Preston. Here to talk about everything.
Right. And actually, we got named number 8 podcast in Cincinnati by feedspot.com, which
I'm surprised you remember the name of it.
I know. The only reason I remember that website that named us number 8 Cincinnati podcast is because I tweeted at him last night, and I thanked him for it.
Oh yeah.
Which was funny because I guarantee that website is just like an algorithmic bot website.
That's what I was about to say. That's the first word that comes to my head.
What, algorithm?
Algorithmic.
Yeah.
It's all just crunching the numbers.
Right. But the thing is, the reason I found this website is if you look up Cincinnati podcast, the first link is this feedspot.com, and they ranked us number 8 best Cincinnati podcast. Okay, so I was like, how do you guys rank podcasts? Like, what's the system?
Criteria.
Yeah, like how do you do it? How do you rank them? And I was like looking through the website, and they're like, well,
Hold up, we're about to give out cheat codes right now.
No. Well, they were saying that they don't pick any podcasts onto their lists unless they've had a person listen to it, like an actual person listen to it. I was like, I don't know if I believe you, but that was a fascinating clause that they had in the website. So thank you for ranking us, FeedSpot. Oh my gosh.
Hopefully
we're getting recognition. Oh my god.
Hopefully we have all the points in all the categories, like visual appeal.
Oh yeah, best cover.
Yeah.
Best intros.
we got all the fields. We got all them.
Right.
Knocked out the park.
And soon, one day, we'll have best visuals too. We don't have cameras now, but one day we'll have cameras and you'll be able to see our smiling faces as we record the podcast. One day. It's not this episode, but soon in the future.
It'll be a well-oiled machine.
Yeah. Soon we'll have one of those guys on the computer worrying about the cameras and worrying about the setup, and then me and you, Nolan, can just roll up and be like, all right, let's hit play, boom, let's go.
Not to be dissing the future guy.
Oh, no.
If he were to be listening to this episode, shout out to
our future tech guy.
It could be a woman. You never know.
That's so true. Why did I say guy? It could be person.
Not even someone from this planet at this point.
Oh, so you want an alien to be our recorder?
Be our DJ.
Yeah. That'd be kind of cool. Our tech guy.
Interstellar DJ.
Our tech alien. And that doesn't mean he's from another country, you know what I'm saying?
Our tech alien.
Our tech alien, yeah. That'd be kind of fun. That'd be kind of cool. He could show
Are
us
you
like
saying aliens are only good at their higher advanced technology? They're not good at music. They're not good at art.
I'm sure they're good at all of it. They could do.
Wow,
Well, I don't want
you
them
just
to.
think they're good for their technology. Yeah, that's what it is.
Oh yeah, because the only thing we can sell Nolan is art. So they need to be the ones who are getting good at technology.
Humans only be thinking about the tech side of aliens. They never be thinking about, wow, what does alien music sound like?
Right. What does alien art look like?
Do they make sculptures?
Mm-hmm.
Do they make sculptures out of planets? You never know.
That'd be cool. What if there's a whole exhibit
I feel
of
like
alien art on a...
we'd be able to see it with a telescope.
Why? We can barely see the surface of the moon with a telescope. We would have to have a telescope as big as Texas to be able to see the moon's surface.
I guess you're right.
I don't want to be right, but
I mean, there are powerful ass telescopes though.
Mm-hmm.
The James Webb.
Yeah, I was looking at that. Actually, never mind. I was about to talk about the probe we sent in the 1980s or 90s. That telescope that we sent that went beyond Jupiter. And I was looking at photos online of the images that it captured and sent back to Earth. But yeah, even those images from that telescope, they're okay images. They're not very impressive. But that's my opinion.
Talking about images that aren't impressive. You want to talk about the Billionaire Boys? I'm just kidding.
Stop. Well, the thing is, Billionaire Boys Club is like so goddamn similar to what we do as like merch designers, which is so funny, dude. Because like
and it's not even like we take hella inspiration from them either.
We take zero actually. We took zero inspiration from them.
It's not like we got mood boards around here of just like different brands per se. We just have hella mood boards of art from like all centuries, all eras.
And cultures, cultural things.
Yeah.
That are very, and just like historical things, such as the launch of the Voyager rocket. The launch of the Voyager rocket. It's not a crazy, like, how do I say this? It's a cultural icon, the Voyager getting launched to space. So the fact that we also use that in like one of the middle ground designs, which is a piece of merch from the Thermal collection. It's just so damn similar to what Billionaire Boys Club did, which is so interesting.
They have recently released it, but they call it Heat Map.
Yeah.
But the crazy shit is that they like copied from like 2 or 3 of our collections. So it seems. We're just delusional in that sort of way.
Well, the thing is, we came out with most of our merch a year ago.
Yeah. And we didn't take any inspiration from, say, like clothing. We seen like actual thermal mapping.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Images like that. And we were like, that shit would look tight on clothing.
We were seeing, we were looking at, I remember the first conversation.
Or like weather.
There's that, and then there was something in Call of Duty. This is going to go to video games.
The scope.
The scope with thermal. That's what made me think of it originally. Well, I think you were the one who like really pushed the idea. But the first time I saw something like that was in Call of Duty. I guess that was the Cold War game, and I had a thermal scope that I was obsessed with. I loved my thermal scope, and I know.
Especially on snow maps.
Oh my god,
dude! There was this one Spec Ops mission.
Yeah.
And it was the waves of survival.
Okay.
And there would be like helicopters coming in, dropping enemies off. And one of the guns was like a LMG with a thermal scope.
Yeah.
And it was just like 100 rounds. You'd just be lighting people up.
Right.
But thermal scope is Yeah, one of the early inspirations.
I remember during the when I was really into Call of Duty Cold War, that M16 with the thermal scope, I was I was in love with that setup.
It's crazy because I like Billionaire Boys Club, but it feels like a diss.
Yeah,
It feels like we're getting ripped off.
it feels like a sneak diss.
Yeah,
That's what it is. It's a sneak diss.
We're such a low key brand.
Yeah.
That no one else would give a shit, of course.
Right.
But what other brands are doing this sort of style?
And okay. So our work week collection, we surrounded the
diamonds.
The diamonds. And then they do thermal diamonds like it's a new thing. It's crazy, dude.
Yeah, on the denim.
And they're like, let's just add more blur to it. That would be better. And it's like, bro, how in God's name did we hit it so on the goddamn nail?
A year ago.
Yeah. And they're coming out with these collections like it's fucking groundbreaking.
I'm salty that they chose an astronaut as their little mascot, because that's such a cool little thing.
Oh, to have as an icon? Yeah. It's a cool icon. It's very smart, and especially the Halloween version that they had that you were showing me just moments ago. It was a black shirt with orange digital art on it, and it was like the same icon that they usually use, which is a astronaut's head with a man.
Oh yeah. Are you talking
about
helmet. That hoodie I showed you?
No, it was a t-shirt.
Oh, a t-shirt.
I say t-shirt, but a long sleeve shirt. And it had a skull with a astronaut's helmet.
Their Halloween drop.
Yes, dude. That was a really cool shirt.
Yeah.
And especially the fact that it's glow in the dark. So, like, it goes from orange to yellow. When, like, an orange is the daytime.
Yeah, the fluorescent glow in the dark color.
That stuff was cool. I mean, like, I gotta tip my hat off to Billionaire Boys Club for doing that. I mean, that's pretty cool.
True.
What is that? Triple B?
You have a class action lawsuit coming your way right now because you have copied our designs.
No, because you know what? We won't win that one.
This is not a free market. This is not a free creative market.
Right. I don't think
all
we'll
the
get
proceeds that they have made from all those designs coming straight into our pockets.
They're Orugas. I'm just kidding, but
no, honestly though, we're a year ahead. They don't know what we got brewing.
And the thing is, they don't even know us, though, which is sad. It's pretty sad, but...
yeah, it's just this delusional thought in our heads.
Pretty much. Because, like, I like Pharrell Williams. Like, he's a cool guy. Who else runs that brand besides Pharrell?
I think Nigo.
Nigo? Oh, that dude, the beat producer? I guess he's also a little bit of a singer or artist or whatever.
I'm not cultured enough to know who runs it.
He came out with one album.
Fully. But it might be just that guy.
Just those two people? Just Pharrell and Nigo?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd have to look it up. We don't have a internet guy.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
But talking about them.
Oh,
it'd be so nice to cop their $900 bike, but it already sold out.
That was such a cool BMX bike, too. I liked they had... The tires had color, the rims had color, the frame, the handles, the brakes, like everything was specially designed on that bike, which was pretty cool. And then with that bike, or with purchase of that bike, you told me that it comes with an outfit as well, which is so cool.
I'm pretty sure.
That's a great idea.
Founded by Pharrell and Nigo in 2003.
How does Nigo not have a first name? Like, he's just, like, going by that.
I don't know. One day I'm going to be Natty.
Yeah.
And people will be questioning that.
Sure. Like, where's Natty's last name, bro? You know?
It's like Fat Joe.
Right. Fat Joe. Yeah,
It's just so iconic to be known as, like, one or two words.
Mm-hmm.
That's just short and simple.
Right. I don't know if I talked about this before, but I was listening to an interview of Action Bronson, and he was explaining his name and how his father used to like a actor whose last name was Bronson. And he was like, Bronson, huh? I gotta have 2 names, so I guess I'm Action Bronson. Which was just like, to hear him say that.
Oh, because of, like, Mayhem.
Yeah. Mayhem has, was it Lauren Mayhem or something like that? What's his? God damn, I can't believe I'm blanking.
It's either that or the other way around.
Mayhem Lauren or Lauren Mayhem?
I don't know. It's
I
one of them.
can't believe we're getting this wrong. I'm such a fan of them, too.
One of the other interesting names is A$AP Rocky. Of course, he's in A$AP Mob, but he's called Rocky because his first name is Rakim, and everyone just thought that his name was Rocky.
You know what's crazy is that my phone just flipped out and said that you were FaceTiming me.
What?
Is your phone doing that too?
No.
Okay. Anyways, yeah, I'll look that shit up later. But pretty cool having 2 names. I might just keep with my legal name because I don't think I'm creative enough to.
I mean, there's already one Preston that rules all of YouTube apparently.
Oh,
so you're screwed.
I know. Or I'll just have to get more famous than him.
And I know there's a Nolan on the Mr. Beast squad. So
Is there really?
I'm kind of screwed. Yeah.
But you could still capitalize on the word natty.
Yeah, no one's rocking that yet.
Yeah.
And it's technically my name.
You have to do NADDI though, because just for, I don't know. I'm seeing so many people in Cincinnati being like, nasty natty, NATTI. Like, I see that all the time. Cincinnati, University of Cincinnati's baseball team, like, almost copyrighted NATTI.
Can I show you some shit, but ad break style? So, like, this is where an ad would be.
I pour my heart, my blood, my sweat, my tears to this game, and history, we in the record books.
The Oruga Podcast has united with the Galactic Federation. With worldly symbols and alien logos, we celebrate our galaxy with new merch. Hope you love it, and Godspeed.
I guess other brands that I've been thinking about was, dude, I was researching Off-White so much recently. Since Virgil has had some album covers come out recently, and long live Virgil. And it's so fascinating that how, I know I've said this before on the podcast, but it fascinates me how a man can do so well in an industry, a man can do so well in digital design and design in general, that he can have stuff rolling out after he dies. It's so impressive. I mean, it just it goes to show his work ethic and how much he really was into his craft and really into his work.
Yeah, it makes me want to have owned something Off-White before he died. I'm kind of sad that I didn't ever buy anything when he was alive.
Same.
I mean, it was just too expensive.
Yeah, and honestly, we were so young at that time.
That was just associated as hype beast culture.
Mm-hmm.
And we were 14 at the time.
Right.
We were what the hell is Adidas? Adidas is more than just a shoe.
Right.
Oh God.
Are you good? You want me to reconnect you?
Did I mess my audio?
No, you're good.
Okay. I think it was just my hearing.
Okay.
But the bag that I wanted to show you, it's this tote, and it just looks super, I don't even know. I think it's a messenger bag.
Okay.
But it just looks so fancy. I would definitely cop it, even though I have the CP Company bag.
Whoa. Man, it's funny how you've never talked about CP Company yet on the podcast because of how obsessed you are of CP Company.
Shout out to them because that guy also founded Stone Island.
Okay.
And you know who rocks Stone Island a lot?
No, who rocks Stone Island?
Drake.
Does he really?
Yeah.
My fucking Lord and Savior, Drake.
Yep.
Damn.
But CP Company is just a hell of a lot better because they got real jackets and coats that are built for like the weather.
Built for below freezing.
Like I want to buy a jacket or coat from them so bad.
This brand that you just showed me, Talking Terps, their bag, that's a really high class bag.
I know.
That they came out with.
If they
the
price that at
stitching.
like 200 or 300, I'd be like, yeah, makes sense.
This is so cool. And it's funny how like it's so funny to me how you're obsessed with bags and like just in general like just having like you
just accessories.
Right. Yeah. You go beyond the clothing.
Yeah.
Just so funny to me because like this is a really high class bag, especially with the straps.
I was the one who was promoting the idea of the Oruga Phantom fanny pack.
That's very true. And
I was about to say Fanty pack.
the Fanty pack, yeah, right. That's true.
Nickname for it now.
You were totally in love with the idea of having fanny packs and the tote bags.
This Talking Terps messenger bag is really dope.
And I was
literally.
Yeah, right. And I was looking at their
It's probably gonna be sold out by the time this episode is released, but all their shit
guaranteed.
All their shit sells out. They're what is it called? Like exclusive.
An exclusive brand?
They're like Flatbush. You know how when Flatbush releases on Fridays at 4:20?
Mm-hmm.
And all their shit sells out by like 5 or 6 o'clock that day.
Which is, can I tell you, that's the ideal world right there.
Yeah.
I wish that Oruga, that we could do the same thing. That we'd
we
release.
Could pull that off, a design a week.
Mm-hmm.
Just release like a quality ass thing weekly, even if it's an accessory or a prop.
And imagine, so like, look, in a world where we take a month or two off, and then we prepare to create a lot of designs, order a lot of quality merch, and then we could easily pull off every single week we only release one article of accessories. Or one piece of clothing, or one pair of shorts, or some headbands, or whatever it is. And that's very doable. It's very doable. And yeah, dude, I loved Flatbush Zombies' merch that they would come out with every Friday. They had some really cool stuff.
Their tie-dye is excellent.
Oh, their tie-dye is excellent.
And like,
their font selection.
Dude,
selection, bro.
I think I got a free poster. Or maybe I bought it. But it came with the sweater, I think.
What came with the sweater?
And you know that iconic blue Flatbush sweater that I always wore?
Mm-hmm.
I wore that shit for like 3 years in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Just like it never.
Who do you think does all the designing for Flatbush?
That's the thing. Like the prints never really came off.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really? They were that good with washing and drying?
There was one of the shirts that ended up, like, the color ended up coming out.
Okay.
But that's only because it ended up with the whites.
Yeah, so you mixed it in?
Yeah, it made it faded.
Well, I have to say, though, is that Flatbush Zombies, their designs were always really impressive.
We need to get in contact with their tie-dyers.
Yeah.
With their suppliers.
Their suppliers are top fucking notch. They're really good. And whoever runs that Flatbush website, whoever does all of the merch and does like all of the merch and just...
I don't even think they have models, do they?
I don't think so. I've never seen any models.
It's always just like...
photos of the stuff on the ground.
Yeah.
It's never
on a white backdrop.
Right. The clothes are and the merch are never.
I mean, obviously it's quality merch.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but they never used any models.
Yeah.
Or maybe they did, but I've never seen any of them.
The cool thing that I think a bunch of brands and artists should follow, and I think we would one day, if we had a warehouse of like shit, is just numbering the product. So it'd be like 1 of 250.
Oh.
Or just like stitching that in somewhere.
Interesting.
Or just like letting them know that it's never going to be made
again.
Yeah, again by that brand.
That's a cool thought because that's a big deal with paintings. I mean, I have this painting right here, which is it's technically a print, obviously, but it's...
Oh, that's numbered.
Yeah, it's 348 out of 850. And so, like, that's a cool idea. Just only have, let's say you only have 250 versions of this one shirt, and then you sell out, and that's a cool idea. I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah.
That's a cool thought.
But, man.
You never showed me Zombie Juice's bag.
That is the bag, because that's his brand.
Oh.
Talking Terps is his brand.
That's his brand?
Yeah.
Damn.
I think he runs it with someone else. But, I mean, other than that, I think he, like, contributes a bunch of his art to it.
That was a really well-ran Instagram page, too. Just for how they did all the product pictures and how they did everything for the merch and the accessories.
They're official looking.
Very official looking. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Damn. I'll go back to this. I wish they would make another album so bad. But
Michi Darko just came out with some shit.
Really? Single album?
8 songs.
8 songs. Kind of EP-ish,
I don't know how you access it. But it's out there.
Michi Darko. Yeah, he did come out with one.
We love the Beast Coast.
Doses.
We love the Glorious Dead.
Yeah. That's a
Flatbush Zombies, you guys changed my life. Take that as an audio bite.
Yeah.
I don't know where I would be without you guys.
You guys just actually never mind. All I can remember is on one of their songs.
Just trying to be friends, huh?
Right, on one of their songs, they'd be like, "I'm a lesbian, but I'll let you fuck me." That part of it, it's just so funny. Dude, they have some of the fucking funniest sound bites on their
Not for real though. They were probably my most bumped artist group for 4 years straight. 3 years.
4 years.
3 or 4 years straight.
Really?
All throughout, like after sophomore year.
Mm-hmm.
Or continuing, or starting sophomore year.
Right. Dude, can I say this of how apparently Kahaya knows DJ Clockwork, or not, doesn't know directly, but has a friend of a friend who knows DJ Clockwork, which has ties to Mac Miller, which is like so fascinating because Mac Miller's one of the artists that I've spent 3 or 4 years of just heavy listening to Mac Miller.
I remember being in the top 1% of listeners from, I don't know what year it was. It was like 19 or 20.
Mm-hmm. For Mac Miller?
Yeah. But he's just on my station on repeat.
Yeah.
For real.
His albums, man, are so good. They're so good. There's not one album.
The fact that you can the replayability factor with his songs.
And the brilliance. Everything goes down to writing, and can you make your music sound like a fucking symphony?
And
it does.
Every time I hear his songs, it's like they're fresh again.
And sometimes, like, you'll live a little bit of life. You'll expand your vocabulary, and then you'll go back to his songs, and you're like, dude, I don't remember this word being in there, or this word, or this word. Where is this coming from? How did I just gloss over this song?
Yeah.
And... like, I've been really into the UFC a lot lately. And then I'm listening back to Mac Miller. It's like ancient jujitsu. And you're like, bro, I don't remember that word being in your song, Mac Miller. What are you fucking... It's crazy. It's so wild.
Yeah. The fact that, like, you could just be having different moods throughout the week.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I was playing Delusional Thomas probably like 3 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's like Dr. Thomas or one of the songs off there.
Yeah.
It was just like bar for bar what I was thinking
or like how I felt. And I was like, damn, he just be in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Or just like, I don't know.
On the last podcast, I was showing Kahaya Delusional Thomas, and then he was like, "Yeah, it's pretty good." But then he was like, "Let me show you a SoundCloud rapper."
I don't know how much more I can praise that mixtape, but
Delusional Thomas.
Delusional Thomas is so underrated. Like, it should be a cultural phenomenon.
It's not even rated.
Who else do you know has higher pitched their voice and made a mixtape and it sounded good?
It sounds not even good,
But killer.
Killer. And it's
He
crazy
sounds
how
intimidating as a minion.
right.
That's the crazy part.
No.
You can
Dude.
sound intimidating as a minion.
Right. And it's so crazy how Mac Miller was embarrassed of that project, so he put it under his pseudonym, Delusional Thomas.
Yeah.
And he basically like hid that from his like mainstream stuff, which I get, but like also I don't get because it's so damn good. I can't believe it was hidden. It'll never go on Spotify. I'll put my hand down and say that. I'll put my hand on a Bible and I'll say that Delusional Thomas will never make it to Spotify or any
It's
public.
just too edgy.
It's too edgy, and the Mac Miller foundation.
Yeah, posthumous release, it is too edgy on major platforms.
Oh yeah, but if it was him wanting to put that out there, if Mac Miller was still alive, and he
Yeah.
did want to put that out there, I'm sure he could. But since he's passed away, his family foundation is not going to be like, you know what we really want is Delusional Thomas on public platforms. Like, there's just no way.
I got 3 vinyls left that I want to cop of
Mhm.
Max, and that's Faces vinyl,
Mm-hmm.
watching movies, and
Mhm.
Good AM, and that basically will complete my Thanos gauntlet
Right. Yeah.
of Mac vinyls.
You do that.
For a good few years.
You do that, and I'm gonna go for all the Drake albums on vinyl, dude. I gotta get
All the Drake vinyl, what? All the Drake vinyl albums?
Yeah, dude.
No way.
You're laughing, but like that's crazy
That's
because
such a funny joke.
yeah, that's so
They gotta be good looking. That's the thing.
that's wild.
That's
that
the thing, man.
Nah, bro, I disagree with you, because bar for bar, man, some of those albums are so amazing.
Yeah.
They're some of the greatest
What do you
fucking
think?
albums in rap.
What do you think about
Well, that's
for the Dogs album? Did we already talk about it? I don't think.
I think
did.
we talked about it
Anyways,
lately.
if you were to buy it on vinyl,
Would I?
yeah.
It's too fresh for me to be able to say I would, because I haven't listened to it enough. I haven't like fallen in love with the album yet. But there's a few songs that, dude, are so goddamn good.
If you're not a vinyl, CD, or cassette collector, you're not cultured. You're not a cultured person. You don't know where to spend your money.
And that's no one's opinion. But
What are you about to be the disclaimer? This is
Yeah.
not meant to offend anyone.
this is not meant to. Right. Yeah.
But I mean,
That's
I'm
funny,
not
dude.
really a car person. I'm not going to invest more money into just transportation. Something
Okay.
that's taking me to point A. To
You're
point
not gonna
B.
buy some rims. You're not gonna
No,
buy.
I'm not trying to deck out my Toyota Camry, bro.
Okay.
I'm gonna wait to deck out a nicer car.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Of course.
And the people that do that to like, obviously their trucks or
Yeah.
just like, say they're copping Corvettes at our age.
Mhm.
I would just say that's bizarre.
What kids are getting?
Or just getting car payments for a Corvette, or not even a Corvette, but just like a Charger or some shit.
I knew it. I had my neighbor of my last apartment. You knew him, right? You like.
Don't be a starving person trying to afford car payment. Be a cultured person and buy vinyls of your favorite artist.
Okay.
That's the way to do it in the free world.
Yeah, because I remember I had a neighbor who would have a what was it, a Dodge Challenger? Yeah, he had a Dodge. No, he had a Dodge Charger, but he had car payments for it, and he was like decking it out, and he was getting new rims, and I was like, man, how much money is that per month? And he would never tell me.
Yeah.
I think
it's
out
a
of
secret.
out of embarrassment. But like the thing is I remember that neighbor and I was like, man, I want a car like that so bad. You know, he's so cool because he's got that new ass flashy car.
Every time I'm in my car, especially when I'm in traffic, I'm thinking, I'm glad I don't have like a Ferrari or a Corvette right now. Because I would just be sitting here wasting my time in a fast ass car.
Sitting in traffic.
In the same way I would be in a Toyota Camry.
Mm-hmm.
If I was still going 90 down the freeway the whole time, I would still be hitting like bridge traffic or whatever, you know.
No matter what.
Yeah.
No matter what, you would be. Yeah, but in the future.
So like the way that I think about it is that it's not worth paying for right now, like a fancier car.
Okay.
Like I think staying with a junk car
Mm-hmm.
or like anything that I don't know is affordable, in my opinion, is definitely crucial when you're young.
Oh my gosh, yeah, of
Like
course.
our age and 30 below.
Yeah.
Because when you're
Yeah.
30 up, you need something you need an SUV and shit for the fam.
Stop it. Stop it. You've heard my beliefs before on
realistic.
that one. I'll never be that minivan dad, I promise.
Minivan dad.
I'll never be that minivan dad. I'm getting a fucking...
You're gonna be the Range Rover.
Nah,
Range
bro.
Rover dad.
It's gonna be a Mercedes
on.
C-Class.
Drake is the Range Rover dad.
He might be...
He's the Range Rover. What is it? Deadbeat dad.
Oh, stop it. Deadbeat dad.
For like what? The first how many years?
You know what Kahaya was saying on the last podcast?
Until Pusha
Stop
T's
it.
revealing.
You gotta hear this. You gotta hear this. That on the last podcast, Kahaya was like, Drake's kid is such a good looking kid. He reminds me of like a cherub, like an.
What is wrong with God?
And I was tensing the conversation. I was like,
Them is fighting words. God. I'm coming. I'm just kidding.
yeah.
I'm coming for you.
Oh yeah. I was tensing the conversation. That's for sure. But it was so funny to me how like Kahaya was so into that.
Nah, who else knew about Drake's kid before Pusha T said anything about him?
Nobody, bro. What are you talking about? Nobody.
That's the thing. That's what's funny.
I don't get how that's funny though.
He did his research.
Okay.
Somehow, some way.
I think that's just industry secrets, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm sure gossip. I'm sure, like every industry.
Nicki Minaj is like, oh, Drake, he's busy today. He's got his son's birthday going on.
Yeah, with that New York accent. Yeah.
He's got his son's birthday going on.
There it is. Yeah, that Brooklyn kind of. Yeah, I
That's
can't even.
deep.
It's
Going on.
going on. Yeah, literally.
Be like, son's birthday. What are you talking about, Nikki?
She gives like the details, the address. She gives the kid's name out, gives them photos. I wonder who did leak all that stuff. Like who was the one who like spilled the beans on Drake's kid? It was probably the baby mamas, right? Wouldn't you think it would be that or?
It is the woman requesting
Child support?
Child support. Obviously. Or you could obviously just look at the open court records.
Yeah, there's that too. And also, I feel like that's public domain. Isn't public domain to have like to register?
Marriage certificates, I think, are public domain.
But they were never married though.
No.
I wonder if birth certificates are public domain. That's a fascinating thought. Probably not, right? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, the obituary.
Well, that's death.
Exists.
That's death. Yeah.
I know, but what's the difference?
Between death and birth, a lot.
Yeah, but
There's a lot.
you're in the obituary in the newspaper for your death. Where are you for your birth? And what records?
That's very true, man. Very true.
Not just. I mean, we're not in a newspaper per se for being like, oh, look who was born today.
Right.
Could you imagine?
No, that would be.
It'd be day old news.
That would be horrible.
That's what Elon Musk tweeted out today.
What?
Or like yesterday, which is funny to say this quote. But the newspapers of today is literally yesterday's news.
Amen. Yeah, I would
'Cause
agree
they're
with you.
printed, that night, and then you're handed
Mm-hmm.
them the day after.
That goes on to the topic of the news cycle, man. The news cycle is such a fascinating thing because I've been trying to kind of curate my own news cycle, if that makes sense. Like, I have my own routine now. Every time I wake up in the morning, I listen to this podcast called the PDB, the President's Daily Brief by Mike Baker.
Presidents.
President's
What
Daily.
makes it the presidents?
It's just the title of the podcast, but it's the idea of the podcast is what information would the president be hearing that day, because the president has a daily brief every day apparently on world news, and so I listen to this podcast every day, and it's from Mike Baker, who is an ex-CIA agent, and like it's very fascinating to like the news cycle, because every single day I'll listen to this podcast. I'll listen to a couple other podcasts like antiwar.com. That's a cool one too. And it's so interesting how conflicts, they're like a week long in our news cycle. They might be years long in reality. Like the war in Yemen, or the conflict in Israel, or what's going to go on in Taiwan, or the American automotive strike that happened months ago, but I've never heard any resolution from the American automotive. I forget what they call it. I don't know. Anyways, the American Automotive Workers Corp or something like that. But
It's like, is there more opening conflicts compared to ending conflicts?
yeah, I hear more about in my news cycle. I hear more about stuff like breaking news, conflict happening, but then I don't ever get the end of the like, oh, this is how we resolve it. This is how this situation transpired and now it's ended. Like, I never hear the end of anything. I always hear the breaking news, what's transpiring, what is happening at this moment, but I never hear what's ending at this moment, you know? And it's very, like, it's really kind of baffling my mind, because, like, will I ever hear the end of Israel? Will I ever hear the end of the Ukraine war? Will I ever hear the end of Taiwan? I just don't feel like it. No, I don't feel like it.
Conclusion news.
The conclusion news. That's what I would like to hear. I would like to hear satisfying resolutions that human beings.
Yeah, the resolution.
Yeah, that human beings have figured out a solution to issues. You know, that would be cool. We never hear that in our news. The solutions that were brought up, or like which is really sad. I wish we did have that.
One day we'll start a news station, and this is going to be copyrighted. This is intellectual property right here. So no one can take this. One day we'll start a news station where it's no breaking news, but it's solved.
Solved news.
Yeah.
That would be cool. That would be cool. I would really enjoy that. That's for sure.
Where it's nothing's like pressing. It's all like
I know. I just take a drink of my water, and it went all into my lap, which was so cool. I love when it goes all into my lap.
It wouldn't be pressing news. It would be ease. It would be news of ease.
Which would be nice. I would love that. I would love to see that, like, de-escalation of war happening in Israel. I would love to see the de-escalation of war happening in Ukraine. I would love
like
that
species back to thriving in this area across the globe.
Right. Literally. And it's very sad that in 2023 we have a holy war going on between the Palestinians and the Israelites. And then we have and then there's going to be a new bill that's going to go into the American Congress. Maybe I'm not saying that proper, but there's going to be a new bill that's proposed for $100 billion being proposed by Biden to fund Ukraine, which is going to be like, I don't know, like 85 billion plus. And then we're going to give 6 billion to Israel. And then we're going to give some chump change to Taiwan. And man, you know, it is at this current date, it is October 21st of 2023. And I just don't see any of those situations being resolved. And which is scary. How much do you know about the war in Yemen?
Not shit. Let's deck out a base.
Let's deck out a base in Yemen? Nah. When you put
Taiwan, motherfucker.
Oh, yeah. Dude. It's amazing how many active wars we have right now in the United States.
That's the American mindset, apparently, with the government. They're all thinking headstrong.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking that we can just take out.
We're a world global
not even
power.
Take out, but just be in these places and just think that we have command. Or, I don't know, what the respect.
What I look at America right now is that, like, we're outstretching ourselves to be a global police, is what we say. We're a global police for the...
Or like the UN even.
Mm-hmm. And with that, it just really, really resembles what England was back in, 16 to 1800s when they were colonizing, parts of Africa, parts of America, going to South America.
The colony states of America were able to overthrow the Kingdom of England.
Mm-hmm.
And England is just an island. But think about it, like, just because a few people got some land and resources, they were able to build up an efficient army enough to fight against an entire kingdom.
Which, dude, that's actually funny. That so this morning I was reading up on the Revolutionary War. The Revolutionary War is a fascinating one, and the reason why it just fascinates me because it's like, I think it was really 80,000 people that we were able to muster up to fight for us as Americans, as American patriots. And it's just, that's not much, is it? I mean, that's a stadium that just collected and that's as big as a stadium, which is so fascinating. So the scope and scale of war, which was much smaller back in the day, but I mean, still with the fact that American militias are what saved the American Revolutionary War, which is fascinating to me. Just farmers, just people who live on the countryside, and they got together and they founded this new type of warfare, which they dubbed guerrilla warfare. And
they had them cheat codes.
yeah. And
they didn't know that you could use stealth.
Right. Stealth was on 1,000, bro. Yeah. And
they didn't know that that perk wasn't unlocked for them yet.
Right. Which the idea of civilized warfare was such a big thing.
Lining up and taking a row and just lining up and shooting.
That's horrible, dude. That's such a horrible way to, it's so archaic now looking at it.
Yeah, that's
so archaic.
It's like throwing hatches across. That's the equivalent.
Mm-hmm.
Just lining up for muskets.
For sure. When was the last time you watched the movie The Patriot?
I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen that.
You've never seen it?
No.
Dude, I watched it last night, and it's it's just one of those movies that just makes me feel like such an American. It makes me feel like such an American because, the ideas of the...
No, you know a movie? I was born on the 4th of July.
Mm-hmm.
That movie with Tom Cruise is, that's a good one.
It's not better than The Patriot, though.
No.
I'm gonna argue.
Patriotic.
Mm-hmm.
Patriotic.
Did you hear that? I didn't know this, but apparently Trump was trying to create his own political party to oppose Republicans and Democrats, and he wanted to make the Patriot Party. Isn't that funny?
I want to make my own party.
Yeah, what would you call it?
The Oruga Army.
Oh yeah, yeah. Which technically, people, if there's more than one Oruga together, there's 2 Orugas or 3 Orugas, that makes an army of Orugas. Whoa.
Yeah. A bunch of caterpillars together is called an army. How fascinating.
It is.
I bet you didn't know that one, listeners.
And you didn't have to, let me tell you, because we didn't know that before we made Oruga. But that was a cool tidbit, though, to figure that out.
And the name will forever be a secret.
What?
Oruga.
Why? Elaborate. Don't give me that smile. Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. There's no hidden context behind it. I wish.
Oh, like
Yeah.
like a veil of
Yeah.
of reasoning. Yeah. Like listeners, you have to actually buy our VIP to be able to have the understanding and to pierce the veil of the reasoning of why we named it Oruga. Yeah.
There's a higher meaning behind it.
It's actually spiritual. Imagine. What if we start selling religious books? We just start writing. Well, actually, the Oruga religion is a cult that. What do they call those? Mystery religions.
Should we stick to politics or take over the religion?
You know, we could do both simultaneously.
It just doesn't work like that, though.
I feel like Mormons did it in Utah. They took over religion and politics in Utah.
They did. They even took over the law with the wives, didn't they?
Yeah. They
like,
did.
We gotta get that passed.
Right.
Let's get our people in legislation.
We need multiple wives.
That's the thing they did. They were like, we gotta vote our people in that know we want more wives.
And do you think they forced their wives to vote for more
Imagine
wives?
how that conversation went. Just being like, yeah, our legislators, we need to get them to vote for. We need more wives.
You know, Joseph Smith was just one of the most revered. I was going to say that he was a...
How does it Utahan sound?
I'm not really sure. We're kind of just doing Western Southern right
I'm
now.
thinking about Dust Bowl victim.
A Dust Bowl victim. Yeah. Right. The Hoovervilles.
I don't even know. It could be any state that the Dust Bowl affects.
Yeah. Did we have Mormons come up to us recently? No, I guess we didn't. We had
some evangelist.
Were they evangelists that came up?
I don't know what they were. They were proclaiming some word.
Yeah.
About Passover.
That's true.
And they were not Jewish in any way, so.
No, but these people came up to us.
To correlate something with Passover.
That's right. They're like, we should only celebrate the Passover when the Passover happens.
Should we diss them on this podcast and then they see us in person one day and they're like, we know that you talked about us.
No, because those people were out of their mind. At least the ones that came up to us.
They're not the types listening to podcasts. They're listening to their Lord and Savior.
Right. They're listening to the voices in their head.
They're looking up to the clouds, and they're seeing letters written.
God, give me the answer. So okay, we're really talking a lot of shit right now. But these people came up to us, maybe like I don't know, 5 or 6 days.
It's funny because I think we had more. Like, both of us together, I think we knew more collectively about just the whole Christian faith.
And Bible. Bro, we have so much Bible education from going to school and being taught
and the fact
a
that
lot of the books.
Yeah, we're not, like, going out and telling others to go and read the Bible.
Right.
I must have missed that chapter or something.
right. The outreach chapter where they're like, you got to tell other people about these fire poems, bro. you know, yeah, dude. I can't believe that people. Because, okay, so when this guy came up to us and asked us, like, do we know about the Bible? Do you want to come to Bible readings? You know, he was just one of those recruiters for a religion.
I started, like, not to sound rude or anything, to anyone who, like, believes in any religion at all.
Oh,
But
yeah, this is not a diss
when this
at all.
guy started talking, he started referring to Jesus, of course, as, like, the lamb. And then he was referring to Passover and, like, talking about blood. And he was like, the blood of the Passover lamb.
Mm-hmm.
And just all these code words. I just started, like, you didn't burst out laughing, but I was about to start burst out laughing. I just was, like, I had a wide-ass smile. Like, my teeth were showing.
Yeah.
And I was, like, not engaging with the guy at all. But I was just, like, smiling, but not looking at him.
Right.
I was just like trying to almost eat. I think we were eating, and they just like interrupted us while we were eating. But they don't care about that.
No, because before this man came up to us, I was whispering to you. I was like, man, we're about to get Bibles. We're about to have Bible talks. We're about to have Bible talks. It was so funny because
We just are able to pick out the people before they even approach us, you know? It's like from at least 10 yards away, we're able to like, oh,
they're coming up to us. They're about to try to,
they're engaging.
Oh my God, because I just
I
remember.
could be a Navy SEAL, bro.
They're engaging. Right. Because you remember the last time that happened to us when the Jewish recruiters came up to us and they looked at me.
We actually have special edition, collectors only, funeral. What is it?
Candles.
It's called something specific.
Oh, they're right there. They're the pink box right there.
Oh.
Go grab them because we should read that out. So I'll do a little bit of a background. So when these people came up to us, they're Jewish recruiters that were trying to tell us about the Jewish religion, and oh my God, and God bless them. God bless them.
We don't have a price on these yet, so
we might sell this on the store.
We are taking bids though. But it is one set and one set only for all of the grandchildren of.
Who is the guy? Who died?
It's not a guy because look at the box. It's pink.
Oh no! It's Oh yeah, you're right. Oh no, it's in loving memory of Miss Rochelle Dutchman. Anyways,
Dutchman. Either way, we have a very rare set of shabbos candles.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're like commemoration candles, funeral candles. I don't know what they quite are.
They're funeral candles. And let me go back to the original point though, because these kids came up to us and they're just Jewish recruiters.
That was the gift at the end of it.
And well, anyways, this kid came up to me. Up to us as we were walking, and he looked at me. He's like, "Are you Jewish?" And I have this thing in me where I have to be like, "Yes, I am."
You have this thing, and an innate ability to say yes.
To say yes. And he was like, I could tell you're Jewish. And I was like, well, it's on my mother's side, not my father's. And he's like, well, that still makes you Jewish. Did you know that? And anyways, we just spark up a conversation with these kids, and they might have been Orthodox Jewish or something. I don't know. But we were asking, I asked
one
him,
kid was McLovin, though. Like, dead on McLovin.
Mm-hmm. And I asked him, I was like, what do you how do you follow your religion? How do you pray? And he pulled out this, like, box.
The box that was wrapped.
It was like a leather strap connected to this box.
This was the craziest story. When you're just out in public, out on a campus, and you're just strolling about, and then these two kids just pull you over to the side and start talking about what they believe in.
It's so crazy.
And they start pulling out this weird box in their pocket, and they're like, this was wrapped around? What was it, their head or their hand?
They would put
Or their chest?
They would put the leather binding onto their head, and the box would be on their forehead. And
I don't know if this was done laying down or I don't know what. It just sounds like an interesting process though.
Right, and he was saying that he prayed with this box being strapped to him, and it was just so weird. It was like, I wanted him to show us, like, yo, strap it on right now. Let's see this prayer process right now. Like, I want to see how you do it, but he never did. But he was showing us the box, and I asked him what was in the box.
He did get that in depth.
He was into it, right?
Yeah.
He was real into it. He was way more into it than those Mormon people come up to us all the time, and they ask us to go to church. Way more into their religion than the Mormons were. Mm-hmm. The Mormon recruiters that we see all the time. So, yeah,
the University of Cincinnati is just a thriving campus of all religions, all backgrounds.
And it's so funny how you can tell there's the students, there's the faculty and walking on campus, and then there's the pilgrims walking on campus, like the religious nuts. And I'm not trying to call them nuts, but all the people who do recruit,
they're trying to convert. Yeah, whoever's trying to convert,
they're pretty nutty. They're always nutty, dude.
That's our take on what our meaning of pilgrims is. Mm-hmm. It's not really like people that are coming here to pray to the Mecca of Cincinnati.
No, they're just trying to get recruiters. Yeah. They're trying to recruit kids.
It's more like converters than pilgrims.
Right. Yeah. And they never have a convincing argument, which is really sad. Like if they were mildly convincing, they could hold me in a conversation. You know, I won't get converted. That's for damn sure. But they could hold me in a conversation, at least, to see where they come from. You know, what's their thought pattern. But, man, most of them are just like, I believe it. And you're like, why? And they're like, because I believe. And you're like, okay. All right. That was thanks for that cool story. Thank you. I appreciate it. Because it goes back to the Bible study guy that came up to us and was like, the Passover. We only celebrate the Passover once a year, and blah, 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 blah. And then I started asking him questions about the Bible, and he couldn't answer.
Imagine if I didn't know anything about that religion, and you guys were just using those keywords and just throwing those back and forth.
Right.
And, like, yeah. I wish he got that kind of awkwardness and was like, oh, I mean, you knew hella shit about the conversation. But I just wasn't trying to, like, get involved with that guy or ask any questions because they're the types to invite you to their church at the end of the day.
Right. Yeah.
They're like, come to service. It's great, I promise.
We have a great community and we have fellowship. And why don't you come to our little meeting after church, too? We get dinner and we talk about God.
Oh no, I made it when we get invited to that Freemason meeting.
Dude, we gotta go to the Freemason meetings.
No, we gotta figure out what's going on in them lodges, bro. I'll bring a little hidden cam. We'll see Jay-Z there, Michael Jackson maybe.
Right.
We'll see him moonwalking on the checkerboard floor.
I can't wait until I have Google glasses on and I'll have like a camera rolling all 24/7 and I'll be mic'd up.
Get the Snapchat goggle or lens.
Right, yeah.
Or
dude.
Fucking, at that point, it'll be the meta.
And why would we be recording? Because, dude, Freemasons, there's got to be something going on. There's no way that the Freemasons lasted 200 years and there's not interesting shit going on.
If they catch me in them, what are they called? If they catch me
in the meetings?
Yeah, I guess... Are they meetings?
Or I would say so. They're meetings, yeah.
They're not like
is there a
religious
gathering? The Freemasons?
Yeah.
No, they're they're an ideology. That's like I'll start talking out of my ass. I don't really know. They're not a religion, but they're also not a political group. They're like in between those two.
Yeah.
Which is very funny. But the Freemasons are like...
They definitely got some big players that have like hella money in it.
You would think if they lasted this long. Yeah.
You know what did look hella cult-like though?
Hmm.
When there was like a celebrity party, but it was where everyone wore all white.
Mm.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't. But
It
you
looked
should.
like,
Why don't you talk about when you lived by a Freemasons building?
what do they call them? I keep trying to think of what they call them.
They don't call them mosques.
It's not temple.
Lodge.
That's
They call
the
them
word.
lodges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to get inside of a lodge, and if the members catch me in there with them Ray-Ban Meta lenses or whatever the fuck,
Okay. Yeah.
they better not kick me out because I ain't
Right.
live streaming or anything. It's just for fashionable.
Documentation.
It's for fashionable accessories.
Right.
Gotta be wearing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not to be live streaming. Or anything.
What happens if you get into one of those lodges and they finally like have the sense that you are an intruder, and instead of being human-like, they're
They just go full predator mode.
like they're fucking like aliens.
Every time I think about Freemasons, the movie Eyes Wide Shut. That's what it reminds me of. But obviously, they're not doing that type of shit. Those parties, that's like more of a Hollywood type of thing.
Yeah, that's Hollywood elites kind
Yeah.
of thing. But also, you know, Hollywood and how Hollywood is ran is real close to, you know, there's not going to get into that subject actually,
Yeah.
because that's a scary subject to get into. But listeners, if you haven't watched Eyes Wide Shut, that's a movie to watch to learn about secret societies and how interesting secret societies
It was
are.
Stanley Kubrick's last movie he ever made.
Was it
And
really?
then Hollywood killed him off.
Yeah.
That's what happened. Don't believe anyone else. Hollywood killed him off.
I always thought
It's not a singular person either. It's just Hollywood in general.
why did
That's what the conspiracy theorists always say. It's like, and Hollywood killed them.
right?
It's like, who the hell's Hollywood, bro?
just that's the name, bro.
And the members of the elite had them murked.
I don't understand in the Eyes Wide Shut movie though. Why did they need conflict between that wife and husband? Do you know what I mean? Like the movie without Tom Cruise and his wife, like it was totally fine without that conflict.
The whole plot of the movie is just an affair, right?
Yes. It's just an affair. And she was like, I've been thinking about that man for years. And he's like, no, you haven't been thinking about that man for years. And she's like, yes. And he's like, oh my God, I can't believe it. And then that's the whole fucking conflict. But then there's the other half of the movie where it's like, where Tom Cruise is getting into this secret society and witnessing all this stuff. And it's so goddamn cool. And yeah. One set of shabbos candles in loving memory of that person.
It's so iconic.
Going back
This
to
is going to be framed. It's like when Mr. Krabs framed his first dollar.
his
dude.
first dollar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is gonna be framed and on the set of the Oruga Podcast.
Right. What happened, dude? How about this? On our 100th episode, and we have like all the candles, and we have like, or not the candles, when we have all the cameras and
It'll
all the
be
setup.
the charity event.
Right. Well, the thing is, we'll have no. I'm gonna go to Joe Rogan's episode. It was 1666 with Duncan Trussell, and the way they start that podcast, it's all dark, and they're wearing like cult outfits, and they light a ton of candles, and then they start the podcast going, and it's so cool. And I think for the 100th episode, we could do the same thing with those candles.
Yeah, we'll finally light them.
Yeah, let me look at them, actually. I can't believe because I moved.
Oh my God, you can't open them.
No,
They're
I'm gonna.
they're unopened.
They're not unopened. I opened them before.
Oh my God.
It's not.
Your dirty fingers have touched them.
It's.
They're supposed to be priceless.
There's one.
Oh my God.
There's
Make
two.
sure the wicks stay exactly
I'm not gonna move the wicks.
exactly like that.
They're very nice though, for what they are.
Stainless steel,
Yeah, they are stainless steel.
candle wax.
Stop it. A married woman lights 2 candles. Single women light 1 candle. A mother should help her young daughters light and then light her own candle. It's customary. These are women candles.
So basically, I don't know what any of that means.
What?
Do you light 1 or 2? Do all the single ladies light 1?
Bro,
Do all the married one?
why are the candles only for women? What do these Jews
That's
give
the
us?
thing. That's the thing. They're special edition. That's what I was trying to say. They're special edition. Not for male use.
pushka.
That's what I was saying about your dirty fingers.
Oh yeah, you're right.
You're tainting the candles.
they got male juice on them now. You're right. I have sweat.
They're now one set of tainted Shabbos candles. We're
This
just gonna
goes to the
keep. We're gonna keep adding on to the description of them. One set. We have one set of tainted Shabbos candles so far.
Right. Yeah. I can't believe it says on the back that only women should light them. That's so weird.
They're no longer pristine.
Yeah, that's very true.
They've gone down a condition level.
Amen to that.
But the quality and price of them still remain the same. So sorry for anyone who is trying to bid lower.
And, there'll be an active bid on the orugastore.com. So, check it out. See if you want some candles yourself.
And if this is your grandparent, please feel free to reach out to us. We'll give them to you.
Oh, yeah. If you can actually prove that you're related to Rochelle Deutschman, we'll actually give them to you for free. For sure. Yeah.
Gotta have the same last name or show us the lineage, man. Or else you're capping.
Right. How can we prove it if we don't have your social security? That's a JK.
You're gonna need the security code on the back of the credit card too.
Why don't we have your email and password? Dude. Kahaya was telling me how he's trying to find a new place to live, and this apartment that he found, it's like $1,000 a month, and
Oruga just has to start a commune.
Oh yeah,
downtown Cincinnati. It'll be just like what's that thing in California? And it's got all the tent city.
Oh God, Skid Row.
Yeah, we're gonna start the new Skid Row of Cincinnati.
It should be nicer though.
It'll be a little bit more bougie.
Yeah, and less tense, more commune-like. But
there's not a thing ending in O that would sound cool. Like
let me go back to
Alley.
Right. That's actually interesting.
Yeah. We'll coin it.
Oruga Ocean.
We'll coin it one day.
True. Let me go back to my original topic though. That so Kahaya was trying to find a new apartment, and he was like, "I got an apartment for $1,000 a month," but this guy was like being extra sketchy with him, and he sent him an address, but then like the address he went to wasn't the same apartment that he wanted to go to, or that he wanted to rent. But anyways, the landlord was like, "Send me $1,000. Send me $1,000. Send me $1,000. Give me the deposit. Give me the deposit." He's like, "Dude, I still want to like talk about if I want this place or not."
Things over.
Yeah, of course. And then he was like, but then he also the landlord gave Kahaya the paperwork to fill out, and it said that he wanted his email and password to his email. He wanted his social security.
What?
Which social security is pretty standard for a landlord. But yeah, dude, he wanted his email and password to his email. And Kyle was like, "No, what the fuck are you talking about?"
You know
He's
what
like,
is almost a crazy mistake that I almost made?
What?
Buying a house. Well, I don't know. Of course, no listeners are going to know this place. But buying a house in Dayton, Ohio, right across from a railroad.
Oh my God.
That would have been a mistake.
That would have been a huge mistake.
But I mean, it was affordable as shit.
Yeah.
Like, and
And Dane's not that bad of an area.
It had a good deck too, like not a balcony.
Did
but
you
just a
face the
deck.
river, or did you face that?
Yeah,
that road?
It was facing the river.
Okay, that's cool.
But yeah, the only con was basically it was on a hill,
Mm-hmm.
Railroad. But yeah.
Do you remember the last apartment or the last place that we were gonna live at? That Bellevue house.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever check out that Bellevue house before we were?
No.
Dude. Yeah, maybe. I feel like you did. I feel like we walked through it once before.
Yeah, we did walk through it.
And
once
how
or
close
twice.
it was to the river, and how close it was to that park. I still wish that house worked out, dude.
Yeah.
Because that was $1,000 a month, bro.
Did we ever see the second floor? Yeah, we did, didn't
Mm-hmm.
we?
Yeah,
That
yeah,
was
yeah.
That was a little weird and aged.
Very aged. Very aged. But
I thought that was Ruby.
yeah. It's fascinating, man. My next apartment, I hope I can find a good place next. Like I liked my last apartment so much. Moving to here was so bittersweet. Like the benefits I have at this apartment, like I have a pool table. I got a washing machine. I got a working dishwasher. Like that's amazing.
The next type of shit that I could see you in.
What's that?
It was like some iCarly shit.
Okay. Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
Dude. That apartment was so cool. I could,
For real.
dude, having the first floor, and it's got, dude, a utility elevator. God damn, utility elevators are bomb, dude.
I don't know. You ever see some of those fireplaces in the middle of the room?
No. So it's like a stack in the middle of the room?
I mean, it's probably got a bookcase attached to it and shit, or like little cubes for storage.
Okay. Oh,
But,
are you
yeah.
talking about the metal fireplaces? Stainless steel usually? Or maybe they're like
I don't know.
maybe they're kind of platinum
They
like.
go all the way up to they look like a post.
Yeah. No, I know what you're talking about.
But yeah, I do like those, the like central fireplaces
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
instead of like a chimney.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's gonna have a chimney, but
Mhm.
like the normal fireplaces are boring.
I would agree, but I would say like having a fireplace, dude, is so cool to be able to have like wood to burn the wood, to be able to like have like
So you
something.
would hate to have an electric one.
Oh, fuck electric. Because I grew up with wood ones. Like I grew up with that. Like that was very traditional. When I was growing up, we didn't have oil heat. So what I would have to do is I would have to go get firewood. So I would like as like a 6 or 7 year old kid, I would like get a wheelbarrow, put 12 or 15 pieces of wood, and like roll it to my house. And then once I got to the house, I'd make a big stack outside, and then I would make a little stack inside. And that was my routine during the winter every single day.
Jesus.
That's what I would do every single day when I was really young, because like my mom, she was working outside and she was like, I don't have time to do this. Can you please do this? Like, I need you to do this. And I was like, okay. So every single day during the winter, that was my job, was to get firewood. Like, it's very nostalgic. It's like very.
That does sound primal.
It's
Just
so
like
primal, dude.
So back in the day type shit.
Mm-hmm. And I remember like it was just a thing to be able to like to start a fire. You know how difficult it is to, even if you have a lighter, if you have newspaper, if you have wet wood, like if your wood is damp and just soggy, it is impossible to burn that wood. And so like you just gotta get so crafty with it sometimes. And for how crafty you could get, like it was very primal. It was very enjoyable. And then once you got that fire burning, and then you turn on the fans for it. We had one of those. I forget what kind of fireplace it was, but like once you were able to close it, you could turn the fans on, and it was cool. It was really cool. But then you always had to do something with the ash. And that was a real weird thing because, like, dealing with Ash was weird, man.
I think it's funny that I have more Fortnite screenshots and clips than I do GTA.
That's sad.
I know.
You know what screenshots I have on my phone? The
Oh my God,
Declaration
I
of
have
Independence.
I'm glad I... What, really?
Yeah. I have
I'm
screenshots.
glad I do have... I have hella clips of GTA for your montage that you need, though.
Oh, yeah.
It's really nice. I hope you guys all see that in one of the previous episodes. It's called GTA Character Lifestyle, of course.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Go check that out.
So you actually do have those clips together?
I do have, like, all of them in a library.
Cool. Yeah, I'm going to need those soon.
It's really cool. Gotta love the montage. Some of the best clips of my GTA character.
Naturally, man. Naturally.
How many other who else can say they made it to 300?
300 what?
Rank 300.
On GTA? You're rank 300 on GTA?
Yeah.
Stop it.
Legitimately, no mods.
No mods.
But Rocket League is our shit, or was our shit in high school.
Mm-hmm.
We can still probably take on anyone in the tri-state. We're calling out all the bets. We got money on it.
You know, I just remember the days where
Would you ever put money on it? Tri-state league.
You know what I would put money on? Pool. I wouldn't put money on
Rocket League. You wouldn't put money on it. We were diamond.
I know we were so good. I know.
I don't care if there's a grand champion in the tri-state. I can take them on.
I wouldn't.
My ego would be so inflated if we were at like some league championship for Rocket League. Like,
okay, yeah.
It was like for $250,000.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just duos.
Right.
We're getting that back, Preston.
Okay.
We're getting some business funding. Let's just say that.
As long as we have a couple weeks to train, I'll be fine with it. I'll put money down on it. It won't be more than a lot of money.
We're starting a professional gaming league with the first game being Rocket League, and we are going to be
so funny. You
division champions.
You know what we're called? You know what our acronym is?
What?
OG.
I know it's OG.
I
know it's OG, but
Oruga Gaming, bro.
It's already taken though, which is really sad.
Aruga Gaming's already taken?
OG's already taken.
By who?
It's already an esport team.
Well, that's fine. That's what you mean. Okay.
So that's pretty sad.
That is sad.
They beat us to it.
You know what?
But you know what?
Okay.
Us as a duo, we're still OG. So anyone on Rocket League, come after us because we got money on it. At least in the tri-state. You got to be in the tri-state.
Do you remember? Dude, we were such...
Those are the limitations.
We were such trolls on Rocket League. I remember we were playing like a couple years ago, and it was just when the war in...
Are you about to say the Russian thing?
It was like Long Live Putin or something like that.
It was...
What was it?
It was something pro-war.
Yeah.
But it was very terrible.
It's so terrible.
Sorry, listeners, but we put some offensive shit, as you would naturally in Rocket League.
Well, it was just to be trolls, though.
Our team name was like...
What was it?
It was something Putin.
I know. It was like... Dude, what was it?
God,
it was so funny. We were being...
And the acronym, the clan tag was war.
Yeah.
That's what it was. It was Alpha Putin.
Alpha Putin, yeah.
Yeah.
That was so funny because I remember people taking it real serious, and like during the Rocket League matches would actually give us comments on
especially after when we would win.
Yeah, dude.
And we would be like, GG, that was fun. That was fun. I would always spam that. And then it would be the people being like, I hate you. Go Ukraine.
Right. It was such a troll, dude.
We would just feel like geeking because people would be taking the time out of their day just to type that shit.
Dude, it was great, and obviously, like,
It was the one that triggers a response.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta, if you're going into Rocket League or something where your clan tag or clan name is visible, it's gotta be funny.
It was fun for
It's
it
gotta
being
be
funny.
witty, you know.
Right.
If you have a serious clan name, there's no.
It takes all the heart out of it.
Yeah. Because you got people replying to you after the match, after you beat them.
Being salty. They're like in their feelings, bro.
Yeah.
They're in their feelings. And they're like,
You
fuck
gotta,
you.
you gotta set yourself up for that experience
Mhm.
by having a witty clan tag and name.
Mm-hmm. That stuff was so fun. I will say that, like, I loved playing Xbox back in the day. You know, like, I loved Rocket League, you know, playing
Starfield bug has bit me.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish that.
How much time are you
that's-
spending on Starfield?
It's probably a day and a half so far.
Day and a half.
Yeah.
Damn.
And it came
in
out,
total time?
It came out like September 1st.
God damn, dude. That's wild.
Yeah.
Fuck. Have you, like,
So like,
is there anything
Probably-
cool about it? How realistic is it? That's what I want to get to. Like, is it hyper realistic, or is it kind of like cartoony like?
it's not so much about the realism. It's so much about I can planet hop and hop from galaxy to galaxy. And
Galaxy to galaxy.
yeah.
You know how many stars are in a galaxy? A trillion,
bro. You go to star systems.
Okay. Yeah.
And it says there's over 1,000 planets, but I think it just means that, like, there's a couple planets, and then it's all of the planets' moons.
Oh.
So there's like over
okay.
1,000 that you can explore. But the whole plot is that you're going to each planet to get like some planets don't have it, but you're just going to each distinct planet that has a superpower attached
Okay.
to it, and you're acquiring the superpower to beat more bad guys up.
Sure. Naturally.
Yeah.
Naturally.
But yeah, it's bit me. And then of course you could like
What was the
operate outposts and have like bases and shit on these planets.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like really a good immersive part about it. I've
Would you want to
to-
play it in VR, or is it like not one of those games?
it's yeah, it could be played in VR. Like obviously it can't be played in VR, but if it were to be played, I would want to play it.
Yeah.
But I don't think it can on Meta and the Quest and all that.
Mm-hmm. I've been thinking about, like, you know, I have a computer that I watch all my movies on. And I was like, man, I wonder if having a VR, like one of those goggles, would be, you know, would that be better to consume movies or not? I don't know. Like, I just don't know yet. But he's like, to be able to like, let's say you're in the middle of the fucking universe, and then you just see a big old screen the size of God right in front of you, and you're just floating in space, and that's how you're consuming
it
a
just
movie.
feels like a real home theater.
Yes.
That's what I was thinking about. It might actually be worth it. I don't know at what year it'll be worth it.
Right.
Like, say you buy one of those Apple headset things.
Mm-hmm.
What's the lifespan of that? Like, how much of that money's worth are you getting out of it?
Right.
I think it's like right around 8K or something.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's obviously not worth it in my opinion. But
Mhm.
if you could get the lifespan out of it and shit,
Right.
it depends.
Well, I've been thinking, so.
Because you don't have to buy a TV.
Right.
All of your entertainment needs could be met if you're keeping it charged up. I don't know.
Mhm.
It's up to you if you're like putting it on some sort of thing every night. But
Gotta put it on the charger, man.
like imagine the little headset stand that it comes with. I bet that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I bet it's another $100.
What scares me about the VR headsets, though, is how close the screen is to your face and to your eyes. You know,
Did you say Is Neuralink the one that's also going to be having like augmented reality?
Elon Musk mentioned it. Yeah.
If that is the case, though, then I mean, I don't know which one would be the best competitor.
God, that scares the shit out of me, though. How are you willing to drill into your skull a 1/4-inch hole so you can connect probes to your brain so you can surf the internet without your fingertips?
It beats having some weight in your pocket.
That's true, but you still gotta plug in your fucking spinal cord every night.
Yeah.
What? So if I had
That would be the gross thing.
if I had
You'd have to power yourself.
right, if I had all the money in the world, I think what I would want is almost like a home theater. But instead of a home theater, you walk into this like dome, and when you walk into this dome, there might be a few couches or just something to be able to look up at the dome. Almost like the Las Vegas thing, the Las Vegas theater. That's a great
Good
inspiration.
luck with the funding.
Well, maybe not as large.
It's gonna have to be government funding.
No.
just kidding.
I think you could do it. I think I could do this. But I'm just saying, like a small half-court basketball, like size dome, where you walk in and you just are able to project everything like IMAX, IMAX, or whatever it's called, IMAX.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I don't know why more ceilings should be rounded.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
That would look so cool, especially for theater or like living room spaces.
Right. I don't know why, like, I know it's cheaper to have box architecture. It's just much cheaper to have everything squared off because it's easy to measure, it's easy to perform. You have, it's just much easier in production. But when you have rounded off edges and rounded off like ceilings, and it's just so much cooler. It's just so much, just gives this like whole different vibe.
You know what my aesthetic is?
Tell me.
If I was rich as fuck,
Mm-hmm.
I would be the one copping the ran down, like, the Cincinnati, the ran down warehouses.
Yeah.
Especially the ones with hella graffiti on the side.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
or
yeah.
like the ones with the smokestack towers.
Mm-hmm.
I would cop one of those. Obviously, I'd have to put all new glass in because all the glass is like knocked out of it for some reason.
What's that for some reason? But yeah.
The hell of shit just thrown at it,
Right. Bricks, rocks, for sure.
But yeah, those buildings just look hella cool. And then I'd be the type, I don't think I would own a TV. I would deadass just have a projector in my crib.
I wonder if projectors are softer on the eyes than TVs are.
But the city needs to give me some money so I can urban plan all these warehouses. Make them new living spaces for the public.
Right.
I have a great agenda.
So
I'm only 22.
We actually are urban planners. We have a degree in urban planning. Dude, churches, I've been looking, I think churches would be my next vibe. I think I'll buy a ran down church and just redeck it out. Oh my gosh.
Talking about evangelicalism, whatever that damn word is.
Okay. Well, it's
You're
just
gonna turn into an evangelist.
No, I'm gonna my future home is gonna be a church. I'm just gonna buy a church and redo it. It's like the architecture's so cool. How they do the ceiling is so cool. I
know, I do like high ceilings.
The space too. The space is unmatched, dude. For how much open floor plan there is, and then for how in some churches there's a lot of, I don't want to say steeple. What's the word?
I dead ass want to build my next house. I don't know why.
You want to build your own house?
Yeah. I wish I could build it plank by plank, but obviously I would have to buy each on all the resources for that shit.
Right.
And then figure out the wiring.
How about this?
The plumbing.
How about this? I'll help you with I'll help you with your house, then you help me with mine. How about that?
That sounds pretty solid, but mine will be like a box.
That's fine.
You know that one image of that box house, and it's just like a diamond shape almost, just because it's a box flipped on its side, and then it's the small house with the garage underneath it.
Okay.
It's a small home.
Yeah. I think you did show me that
But
once.
that would literally be enough, like, adequate space
Mm-hmm.
for my living situation.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, what the fuck? Why? Like, what else do I need?
Right. And to expand upon that, if I can't afford a church to live into and restore and, like, redesign it to be a home, I would do the shipping containers.
Yeah,
That's a great
idea.
Dude, they make some of the coolest homes out of shipping containers. Some of the coolest homes. And all you need is like 4 or 5 shipping containers, cut them up, and done.
4 or 5. Good luck finding those.
They
And getting
sell
them
them.
shipped out to your house.
Well, they sell them. They sell decommissioned shipping containers. I would want commissioned shipping containers, actually. But, yeah.
That's going off the high end.
I don't know. I feel like that'd be 40 or 50,000 for those containers, and I don't feel like that's much. To throw out numbers, to divide up imaginary money is very easy, but
We just gotta get in talks with the barge people.
well, you know what we need? We need to talk to Kanye about his urban planning.
Yeah, his domes,
Right, his dome living. That's
his Yeezy versities.
right. I wonder how those are going, by the way.
The Ghetto University.
Man, I was listening to College Dropout recently. That album has a lot of interesting songs on it. A lot of songs I've never listened to, actually. I've never listened to that full album before. And I listened to that full album a couple days ago, and I was like, wow, this is like
You know how
not
many
what I thought.
times? You know how many times I listen to All of the Lights on a weekly basis?
All of the lights.
7 times on a weekly basis. It's a daily occurrence.
Really?
Yeah.
God, that song is so amazing. Turn up the lights and roll, baby.
I think I sing the distorted parts of that song more than the actual song.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the distorted part of it? What are you referring to?
It's like not Rihanna, and it's not Kanye, and I don't know who it is.
I don't know what you're referring to, but
maybe it's a sample.
Mm.
But I don't even know what he says, honestly. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'm not too sure.
It's a great album too. There's a lot of great songs on that Graduation album.
Oh, that would also be another great thing to get on vinyl is Kanye albums. Now, how would you rank those in terms of which one would you cop on vinyl first? I think Dark Twisted Fantasy first for me.
That's a good one.
It's got goddamn Rick Ross on it, dude.
Devil in a New Dress.
You cannot go wrong with that song.
Oh, you can. And the guitar solo. God, it's such a good guitar solo. And you're like, is this ever gonna where's Rick? Come on, Rick, where are you?
Yeah.
It keeps going and keeps going. I remember I played that song to my mom once. She was like, how are you into Kanye? I don't get it. And I was like, I'm gonna play this song. This is a great song to play you. And so I played it, and she was like, this guitar solo sucks. And I just remember being like, I'm never playing any music around you ever again. I'm done. I'm tapping out. Like, I'm never showing you music. Because I was just like, you don't get it. But yeah, that guitar solo is amazing. I'm a big fan.
Talking about Rick Ross, Insomniac. It's one of the greatest songs ever made.
Dude. By Mac Miller on the Faces album. That feature with Rick Ross is fucking phenomenal. It's so fun. I will say this.
Not to be biased, but that beat, that production, Mac Miller and Rick Ross on that song together, that is just a bomb of a song.
Mm-hmm. And this is my hot take, is that Mac Miller, when he has artists coming to his songs and featuring on his songs, he makes those artists like top-notch #1 artists.
Like Earl and Vince.
Yes, dude. And
That's how it felt, because their verses were on par with Max at the time, and I don't even know how.
he just when other artists come onto his songs, he just makes those artists pop out and have their best fucking features ever. Like Rick Ross's verse on Insomniac is one of the best verses I've ever heard from Rick Ross. It's right up there with Devils in a New Dress.
I'm butt naked in my chopper with my chopper.
And then there's that N-word afterwards. Yeah, it's so good, dude. It's such a good song. And it's Sir DeRox. Is that his name?
Sir Michael.
Sir Michael, yeah.
Sir Michael rocks.
Yeah, he has some of his best verses on Mac Miller songs, dude.
Dude, he's got a great song that has like a crazy ass beat, and it popped off, and I can understand why Mac wanted like a couple songs with him, because I gotta show you the song. I forgot. It's like called Foreign
Okay.
something.
Is this Sir Michael Rocks?
Yeah,
Okay.
but yeah, he's a great artist. Shout out Sir Michael Rocks.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if he's dropping stuff anymore, but I used to be a big fan.
The rap game has fell off the past 3 years.
You know, you hold that opinion, but let me tell you, dude, Drake is just right on par, man.
I mean, to be fair, a couple years ago, like more than 3 and 4, we had like Lil Pump.
Oh yeah.
And like, who else was it? Just them trash ass SoundCloud rappers.
69 was around.
6ix9ine was a cancerous tumor of this planet.
God, and he was playing hardball, but then he was also snitching. Which is
I'm actually I think he got arrested
recently. Good for society.
Out of country.
Good for society.
An out of country arrest.
Where? Do you know what country?
Do not know where.
Well, he was like in Europe. Was he in Asia?
South America, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
God, he must stick out like a sore thumb everywhere he goes.
Just bleach it at that point, bro.
Bleach his hair?
Yeah.
His hair's white right now?
No, I said just bleach it.
Oh, yeah, he should, dude. Because his fucking hair is a monstrosity. That's my opinion. I'm sure he can live his life however he fucking wants, but like you stick out like a sore thumb with that hair. You know, that's like a fucking liability. Imagine going into public anywhere and you're known as 69 and you have that hair. Dude, you're just sticking out like a fucking sore thumb.
That's like how Ninja is with his
blue hair?
Yeah, with his blue hair.
God, it just like that's a security issue.
Yeah.
In my eyes. Like, why would you want to stick out like that?
Imagine a crazed 12-year-old who's like, that is my hero.
It's Ninja. Imagine having a kid and he's like, it's Ninja.
That's who they look up to.
I watch him for 3 hours a day on stream. Like, bro.
I'm his top donator.
With my parents' credit card. That's horrible. That's so horrible.
The people who have like top donators of this stream, I feel like that's very, not clickbaity, but like there's got to be a word for it. It's a black hole. It's not fishing for more, but it's like you're displaying the person who sucks up to you, or who sucks your ass the most.
Who's that guy? Who's that streamer that you were showing me yesterday with the fake? Or I say fake, but Kai. That guy is like the epitome of what you're describing right now. It's just like you're just placating.
You have guests on just for clout and publicity, and for it to be like quote unquote news.
Mm-hmm. And that video you were showing me of Kai, where he's with that girl who's the
fake Zendaya.
I was gonna say fake, but just a lookalike. You know, she's just a doppelganger of Zendaya.
It's not a fake Zendaya. It's just a girl who looks like Zendaya.
It's a woman who's living her life, you know, and she happens to look like somebody else, you know. And so he has this girl on his stream, And he's like, look, I have Zendaya with me.
And he's FaceTiming his dumbass friend
Right.
who's believing him. I think it was Aiden Ross or some bullshit. Like,
Man.
what kind of content is it at that point that you're just trying to have, like, fake people on?
And
You can have Offset on your stream, but you can't have Zendaya, or you're gonna like prank having Zendaya on your stream.
And I was so depressed after you showed me that video because I witnessed this girl literally hurt, like, just a total destruction of her ego. She just, like, completely dissolved in that video because you just see her being like, hi, I'm special for a moment. And then he's like, she's just a fake Zendaya. And then you just, like, see her die in her chair. You know, you just see her get so depressed in that moment. And I just remember taking that in. I was like, damn, I'm so sad for her.
We're never having lookalikes on this damn podcast.
Well, I'm not. It's just
What kind of celebrity status is that?
It's no celebrity status.
You look like someone.
You look like somebody.
Well,
Your meatbag. Your meatbag looks like somebody else's meatbag.
You know how lame that is? To have celebrity status of just being a lookalike. That is like, I would hate to be born in that kind of life.
Dude, and you know what's funny is that I lived that for about a year.
That's why we're grasping onto our own fame.
Right.
We don't look like anyone. People look like us, bitch.
Do you remember when I was telling you how people were coming up to me and saying I was looking like that kid who's on
Stranger Things?
From Stranger Things. I had legitimately
Literally, like, what is the main character?
What's his fucking name?
Is it Will?
No, Will's the gay one now. The fuck
Mike.
I looked like Mike.
Yeah, but Mike's got goddamn black hair, like pitch black, basically.
Pitch black hair, and he's got a
he's
nose
got a bowl cut.
Right. Oh yeah. That's true. That's true. All those things are true.
And he is pretty pale.
Yes.
That is crazy. You got called that twice.
3 or 4 times.
Jesus. There must be something in the face or something.
I don't know what it is, but
it's not the hair and it's not the skin tone.
Amen to that one. Amen to that one. I'm in agreement with you. But let me tell you, dude, at a restaurant, I got stopped by a mom who came up to me. I was literally with my family. We were having a birthday dinner for my mother. And I was at the dinner, and I literally have a mom come up to me. And I noticed that she was looking at me before she came up to me, and I smiled at her.
Be like, I'm about to get some ditch.
I'm with my family at this current moment. Anyways, this mom comes up to me, and she's like, can I get a photo with you? And I'm like, no.
That's even better.
No, bro. I literally looked at her. I was like, no, you can't get a photo with me. Why? Why do you want a photo with me? And she's like, well, you're that Stranger Things kid. And I told her, I was like, no, I'm not. And she's like, yes, you are. What are you talking about? Yes, you are the Stranger Things kid. Like, she was thinking I was lying to her.
There's no denial.
That's what, and I was like, I'll get a photo with you. I'm not going to argue with you anymore. Like, I was like,
you just accepted it.
I was like, and she was like, no, you are that kid. And I was like, all right, I guess I am that kid. Let's get a photo. And I got a photo with her, and my family, once I got back to the table, they were like, what was that? And I told them, I was like, I explained the whole situation, and they're like, my family didn't even believe me that was the situation. It was so funny. But then I was at an airport, and I was flying back to Cincinnati, and one of the airport ticketers looked at me, and then looked at my ticket, and then looked at me, and like, aren't you the kid from Stranger Things? And I was like, no. And they're like, that makes sense because your name's not matching.
There's gonna have to be a meetup one day. You guys are gonna have to battle to be like, I am the only person who looks like me.
And what if he tennises that? What if he's like, we do have to fight.
I wish that was the reality we lived in. We have to kill all lookalikes.
Right.
There can only be one person who looks like
What if we start training for it now? What if he starts hitting the bags, I start doing jujitsu, and we have a cage fight?
Shit.
I'm going to change your face, motherfucker, so you don't look like me anymore.
Facial reconstruction.
Yeah, that dude, I hated getting called a lookalike to that Mike guy. That was such a horrible time of my life, and I haven't had it happen recently, thank God. But yeah, that was such a weird time. It was a couple years ago, but that's when Stranger Things was out, and once Stranger Things comes out with a new season, it's gonna be right back to me looking like Mike again.
You're gonna get the same call out.
Yeah. Once it becomes part of pop culture again, and it becomes popular again, I'm sure it'll ramp up again of me being like, Mike, please let me have a photo. And I'll just be like.
And then you're gonna be in recluse for the following months.
Yeah,
Like, I don't look like Mike.
What happens if I buzz my hair down to like I just buzz my hair? All right, and I'm like, this will save me from the next season of Stranger Things. And then he comes with a buzz cut too. Oh God, who's your lookalike?
I don't know. Let's not find one.
Let's not find one. We found like a couple doppelgangers that you have.
We have seen a lot in person.
Right. Of like non-famous people, but
It's
we
just
haven't.
people who are wearing glasses.
Mm-hmm.
Dudes wearing glasses.
Right.
That are pale. Maybe have long hair.
They have long hair. They got that like
Always wearing a cap.
always wearing a hat. Yeah.
I always see them almost going into a Target.
Okay.
Like,
Your doppelgangers like Target?
yeah.
Wow. How fascinating.
I've found that out because
Mhm.
I've seen myself there 3 or 4 times.
Dude, it's so funny because I saw a kid recently and I thought it looked so like me, but I was like looking at him, I was like, huh, will you look at me to see if we both look at each other like we look at each other? You know, like I was like wondering, I was like, man, could we both have that moment where we think we look like each other? But like, nah,
That's funny.
it never did happen. But yeah,
No doppelganger effect.
no, nothing, man, nothing. Yeah, the fight to be the real doppelganger, the fight to be top honcho.
To be no doppelganger.
Let's just fight to the death.
There'd be a lot of bald people fighting if that's the case.
For sure. And then there's a statistic that says that there's like 100,000 people in the world that look identically like you, apparently. I don't know. There's like that statistic that there's so many people in the world and there's only so many limited facial features that you can have that you look like a percentage of the population, or a percentage of the population looks identical to you as well. And it's kind of cool. So
That
like
is interesting.
it kind of rationalizes it, you know, like if you see a person in real life, you're like, oh my God, this is the point. 1% of the time I'll see somebody who looks like me. So you can kind of like rationalize it.
Yeah.
But like when you do see somebody who looks identical to you, you're like, what the fuck is going on right now?
I'm in the Matrix.
I'm in the Matrix, bro. What the
That's
fuck
what
is
I'm
going on?
always thinking when I just see someone the same height,
Mm-hmm.
same like walk.
Right.
You're like, did he also have the same upbringing?
Yeah. Does he like the same stuff I do because we look similar?
Yeah.
Usually not. No, usually not. But
Well, it's never like I'm never gonna see an Amish person that looks like me.
you never know, dude. Never say never.
Not chin strapped up today.
Oh, that's true. With those kind of beards too.
Yeah.
How are their beards? I think they have no mustache, but they only have chin hair. Right? I think that's how they do it. Yeah, that's how the Amish does it. The Amish beard.
I heard something about their beards, and it's like they shave their mustache if they're not married.
Oh.
And they can keep it if they're married, or they can not. I don't know how it works actually. That
Mhm.
might just be like some bullshit I heard.
Yeah. Some false information that you're spewing out.
But like, I thought that was interesting.
That's cool. That's cool info.
Yeah.
I wonder if it is true. So I have this like Greek mythology class right now, and we're going over like just Greek mythology, and it's fascinating how they distinguish adults between youthful kids, because like for men, it's, you know, if you want to depict a Greek person in art and they're not an adult, they'll be beardless. They'll have a clean shaven. But if they're an adult and they want to depict an adult male, they'll have a beard. And it just like kind of signifies the difference between adolescent and adulthood. Mm-hmm. It's kind of fascinating. And their beards look fucking ginormous in their art. They're like fucking big old bushy, like, I don't know. Yeah. Just like real.
I guess it is hard to like have a distinction for age in paintings besides gray hair and wrinkles.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Or like a massive beard.
Mm-hmm. But they don't really depict like oldness. They don't depict like decrepit oldness. They just like, they only depict like age with like stoicism and age with power, which is very funny as well.
Well, we've got to get going to the bathroom.
Okay.
So,
it's been a fun one.
Yeah, it has been a nice conversation. We thank you, listeners, for joining in.
Indeed. And you know what? Tell us about your doppelgangers. Do you have any interesting doppelgangers? And
don't forget to also check out our merch over Billionaire Boys Club, because it is better than theirs. Check out orugastore.com.
For the best merch and for the best designs.
Because they're original and they were created first. We're not no copycats.
Yeah. All right.
We're coming for you.
Oh my God, we are. All right, people. You have a lovely day. Enjoy yourself. Thank you for listening, and hopefully we'll catch you at the next one. Bye-bye.
And we got to be ready.
Visit orugastore.com today and enter the discount code OP15 for 15% off your order on all Oruga merch. Free shipping for orders over $50 is available as well. Thank you.
The Oruga Podcast.
Somehow somebody's always looking the other way. Now look at these guys. They look busy, right?